What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Mazda CX-30 Select Sport. Huge thank you to Calvin over at Safford Brown Mazda of Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular CX-30 or any Mazda product, then I'll be sure to have Calvin's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is an absolutely beautiful last day of winter here in Virginia. It is a bit breezy, but it's always breezy in this location, and I'll take a day like today any day of the week. But just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S Select Sport, and this particular one's been painted in the beautiful deep crystal blue mica. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, Mazda added an updated navigation system to the CX-30 with more details and over-the-air updates. You also now get more Alexa features and a new gray color. But this particular one being the Select Sport, as standard, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. Taking a few steps to the left, here's a front-on shot of the CX-30. Funny enough, my Corvette is in the shop right now because somebody hit it, and the CX-30 is actually the rental vehicle that I have right now, hence why I wanted to do a video with a 25 today. Mine is a 24. It's not actually mine, it's just, again, a rental car. But I think it's actually a really, really good little SUV, and I'll get more into that here in a second. I want to get through the exterior part of the review first. You can see satin black front grille, Mazda logo at the center of the grille. Coming down just beneath your grille, you get the chrome signature wing. And then all the way at the bottom of the front bumper, I like to call this your satin black lower fascia. And the CX-30 gets 8 inches of ground clearance, and you can also only get it with all-wheel drive. So hey, you know what, if you live in New England in a snowy area, this might be a good little SUV for you because, well, it's affordable, it comes standard with all-wheel drive, and hey, it's pretty good looking as well. Anyways, you can see satin black lower fascia. That leads into your satin black wheel arch moldings. All Mazdas besides the two-wheel drive ones seem to come standard with the G Vectoring Control Plus, a torque vectoring system. You can read what it does on screen right now. Essentially gets you around a turn just a little bit better. And then this one comes standard with 18-inch gloss black wheels that are wrapped in 215/55 Bridgestone Turanza EL440 all-season tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here as best I can, and I'll also throw the price of a tire on screen now as well. I think this might be the sweet spot in the CX-30 trim lineup. Yes, it's not going to give you all the fancy features, but if you're on a budget looking for something that's going to give you everything that you need and a couple extra features, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right now. This thing does come standard with rain sensing wipers, so you get little convenience features like that with this, while still at an affordable price. So again, rain sensing wiper standard, and coming on down the side, you get the gloss black mirror caps with integrated turn signals. And as standard, these side mirrors are heated, manual folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. I think this is a worthwhile step over the base model. Again, you get the rain sensing wipers, but in addition to that, you also get the heated side view mirrors, whereas the base model does not get the heated side view mirrors, and I find those to come in handy in the winter months. Here's a side profile shot of this thing. You can see it has a relatively sloping roof design there at the back. It almost looks like it's a hatchback, but not quite. At the top, satin chrome roof rails. You get a mix of satin black and satin chrome for your window trim. Body color door handles with keyless access. Keyless access is only on the front two door handles. However, the rear do not get the keyless access function. And then you get the satin black door cladding at the bottom of all of your passenger doors. Also found here on the driver's side, you have your filler neck. 87 octane will do you just fine, and take a look at that beautiful blue there glistening in the sun. I'm surprised this is a standard color and they don't charge extra for it, because I would pay extra for this color because it's so nice. Mazda just has really, really nice colors. Anyways, gloss black roof spoiler, integrated third brake light, rear window defroster, rear wiper, and LED tail lights come standard. Here's a rear three-quarter shot of this thing. Again, looks really nice here at the rear end as well. Chrome badging back here on the lift gate. You also get a backup camera located, I believe, about like right there. You do get a manual lift gate, so you have to lift it up on your own. I'm going to throw the price of the black lug nuts on screen right now, as well as the carpeted floor mats. One thing that is nice, if you need extra storage space, you can fold these second row seats down and you get an additional about 3 feet of storage space with those seats down. Other than that, you get quite a bit of storage space back here. You can see, I would say probably what's at 1, 2, 2.5, 3 feet of storage space that way, and another that way as well. Underneath all of this stuff, you also get a spare tire. In a world where a lot of manufacturers are doing away with a spare tire and going to a tire inflator kit, it is nice to see a spare here with the CX-30. That's kind of about it for the trunk area. If you press that button right there, that will lock the vehicle, and then you can close the trunk on your own. And then finishing things off here at the rear, you get a satin black rear bumper, a dual exhaust system, and if you have a jet ski, you're in luck because the max tow capacity of this is 1,500 pounds. I got a buddy who just got a GP 1800 SVHO. This is a Yamaha jet ski. He's got a Toyota Camry. He had a trailer hitch on it, and he tows it around everywhere he goes. And you can do the same thing here with this thing. But with this, you at least get all-wheel drive, and I think you'll be happy with the price considering all the features that you get with the Select Sport. Again, I think this is the sweet spot in the CX-30 lineup for price and features. You'll see that as we progress throughout the video. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that produces 191 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 26 miles per gallon in the city, 33 miles per gallon on the highway for 29 miles per gallon combined with standard all-wheel drive. It is nice to see that, again, all-wheel drive does come standard with this thing, especially considering the price point. And while it's not the quickest thing on paper, again, I've had a rental car the past week. It's one of these, and it's actually like quicker than you would expect the numbers to be. So I've been pretty impressed with the power. It's not going to blow your socks off, but for daily use, it's got the right amount of power. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those 3 things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. That is what helps me grow. Not only do I post review videos, I also do vlog style videos of my own personal vehicles. And if you guys are car enthusiasts, C606 cammed Camaro, and I also have a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, I know, kind of interesting. So if any of that stuff piques your interest, make sure you subscribe, and then also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Again, make more of my own personal vehicle videos on those channels, as well as 1-minute reviews. So anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, keyless access comes standard, so all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it unlocks. If you wanted to lock it, all you gotta do is run your finger across that rectangle looking thing there, and it will lock right back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with satin chrome accenting, and going over the functions on it. Starting over here, you have your lock function, your unlock function, and your panic function. And one more thing is that if the key fob dies, you can push that forward. It's going to pop off one of the key fob panels, and that is where you'll find your physical key, and that is how you would get into the interior. But I'm just going to press the unlock button, and we're going to take a look at what the CX-30 has to offer. So you can only spec the Select Sport with the black leatherette upholstery. There's no other interior color to choose from here with this trim level. I figured I'd mention that first, but we are going to start here on our door panel. So you can see up top there, you get a tweeter. That leads me into what I was going to say. You get a 6-speaker audio system. You get some vinyl wrapping here on the door, your unlock and your lock functions. You have your power side view mirror controls, automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. That button is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You have a nicely padded armrest, a little bit of storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle there. You get manually adjustable front seats as standard. And now we're going to step into the interior. Take a listen. Close the door. I'm going to fire it up. And that is what it sounds like being fired up from the interior's perspective. And now what I'm gonna do is walk you throughout the entire interior, starting over here. So you can see you get a defroster for the driver window, you get a defroster over there for the front passenger window, you get an HVAC vent. This is to turn like your driver assistant beep beep beeps off. So let's say, you know, you're turning into some lane, you have your turn signal on, but somebody's in your blind spot, it'll go like beep beep beep. That is to turn those beep beep beeps off. And then that right there is your off-road traction control system, or off-road traction control assist. So if you're off-road, press that, it optimizes the traction control system. Down here, you get a spot you can set the key fob. Opening this up, that is to control your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. You can push it away from you, you can bring it towards you, and it also moves up and down. Lock it right back into position, and now take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the CX-30. Not only is that the turn signal control stock, it is also your headlight control stock, and here on the end is to turn the automatic high beams on or off. Zooming back out, you get a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and like any other vehicle, the horn is at the center. Take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like on the CX-30, and I'm going to walk you through the controls on the steering wheel. Volume controls over here. Push on that volume control to mute the audio system. Push up to go forwards on a track, push down to go backwards on a track, and press source to switch you between your different AM, FM, Bluetooth audio sources. Down here, that is for the voice commands for the infotainment system. But if you get a call coming and you are connected to Bluetooth audio, you press that right there. That would pick up on a phone call, that would hang up on a phone call, and then the info button right there is to control what you see on your 7-inch LCD meter display. Coming to this side of the steering wheel, one thing that is really nice to see on the Select Sport is that this comes standard with radar cruise control with stop and go. Radar cruise control being adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise settings. Another thing that is also nice to see on this vehicle is the rain sensing wipers. So when that is illuminated in amber, the rain sensing wipers are active, and they will adjust the speed dependent on the intensity of the rain. And then moving into our dash, you can see you got your analog tach over there. Analog fuel gauge. You can see how the gas pump is pointing to this side of the vehicle. That means you fill the vehicle up with fuel on the driver's side. If you guys didn't know that, let me know in the comments down below. Then you have your coolant temp over here. You have your fuel range. Over here, you have your instant fuel economy stuff. That is the odometer to switch between your different trip A, trip B, and odometer information stuff. You click trip, that's trip A. That's trip B, and if we wanted to reset trip B, press hold, it will reset back to 0. And then I think I pointed this out, you get your temp, and then that is your transmission status stuff, that is your driver assistance features, cruise control stuff, driver assistance, digital speedometer readout there at the center. If you click this button, that's going to switch you into this screen. It is your analog analog speedometer. Then you get your analog speedometer with your drive information, and then it brings us back into the screen we were already on. Very easy to use, not much going on there. Moving into this is your 8.8-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto connectivity. So this screen, here's a better view of it. It's not going to pick up all that well on camera just because of the lighting. And then these controls are for that screen. So you can shortcut into nav, you can shortcut into music, you can shortcut into home or back, and then this is to scroll throughout that screen. So we're going to go, I'm going to click home on this. It's going to bring us into the home screen. Then you can go into your different settings. We go into settings, you get your in-vehicle displays, your sound settings, all of these different things, and all I'm doing is controlling it by twisting it to the left and the right. And let's say we wanted to go to sound settings, right? All I got to do, push down on that, and that is how you select it. So very easy to use. Don't feel like you need to spend too much time on that screen. But if you wanted to connect to Apple CarPlay and you were connected via a wire, all you got to do, push down on that, and then it would pop open the Apple CarPlay screen. Dual zone automatic climate does come standard. You get your different temperature controls there. Let's say the passenger goes to 64, they step out of the vehicle because you dropped them off, boom, click sync, and they both sync to the driver temp. Hazard button there at the center. This is to turn the the AC system off. You get some storage space down there. You get 2 cup holders here. This is your transmission shifter. So if you wanted to go into manual mode, you go into drive, flip to the left, push up to downshift, pull down to upshift. Push up to go into sport mode, pull down to go into regular mode. And then you have your electronic parking brake. It will illuminate in amber when it is engaged. Push your foot against the brakes, push against that, and it will disengage. This is for your auto hold function. If you press that, basically the vehicle will hold itself in place by itself with its braking system. And if you wanted to go forward again, all you would do is hit the accelerator and it would begin to roll forward. That is a very nice feature when you're stuck in traffic. And then you have a favorites button right here. You can see to add a favorite, press and hold the favorites button. So that is how you do that. And then you have your volume control here, push down to mute it, and then push to the right to go forwards on a track, push to the left to go backwards on a track. Coming back just a little bit, you get a leatherette wrapped armrest. And then down in here, let's see what the dimensions are. So what's that, about 5 1/4 inches deep, followed by about, let's say, 5 1/2 inches from here to here. You get a little bit more storage space there, but I don't know if I'm going to count that. Then down in there, you get those 2 USB-C ports. You get 2 HVAC vents here on the the passenger's dash. Decent amount of storage space there in the what's that called? In the glove box. Then you got your rear view mirror up top there, just a regular rear view mirror. And that's going to let you know if the passenger airbag's on or off. Your interior lights are LED. That is to turn your interior lights on or off, all of them. And you can see when that is illuminated in amber, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. If that is not illuminated, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. Opening this up, you get a spot you can set your sunglasses. Coming over to here, you get a vanity mirror with a vanity light. And then the visor itself does not slide in and out, but you get this piece here on the end of the visor that slides in and out for when the sun is in those awkward positions. I'm gonna cover that right back up. Then the driver gets a grab handle, as does the front passenger. And now, speaking of seat comfort, I find these seats to be very comfortable. I'm 5'9", slimmer person, and the seats fit me well. Even if you're 200 pounds, I think you'd be totally fine in these seats as well. They're not too, skinny. If you've ever been in a Lexus with the F Sport seats, those are even skinny on me, but I kind of like the way that they feel because they're kind of just built for somebody of my stature. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. Take a look at everything that is standard. The only options that this has include the black lug nuts and the carpeted floor mats. And now I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 CX-30 Select Sport is spec'd is $28,485. I think that's a pretty decent value considering what you get. I mean, you get tons of safety features, blind spot monitoring, smart cruise control. Those are 2 of the biggest features that you can get, and it's nice to see that those come standard here on a $28,000 vehicle. But I want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. Let me know what you guys think of that price, though, in the comments down below. Is it a good deal? Is it a fair deal? Or is it overpriced? Let me know. And then this is what these rear seats look like. The rear door panel, I should say. Let's see, how far does the window go down? Nearly all the way down, just not quite. Padded armrest, some storage space, and then this is what the second row seats look like. Yes, I had Chipotle for lunch. By the way, if you haven't tried the honey chicken is very good. This button right here is the button you would press to fold the second row seats down. And stepping into the second row, you get 2 cup holders and a fold down armrest. Sometimes on a vehicle of this price point, you don't get the center fold down armrest, so it's nice to see. You get a spot you could set your dry cleaning and a grab handle. You get the same stuff on that side. You also get an LED dome light back here. You do not get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, but you do get one behind the passenger seat, and then you also get 2 HVAC vents. Speaking of knee and leg room, I'm 5'9", adjusted behind myself. I've actually got quite a bit of knee and leg room. And when it comes to headroom, I'd say I probably have a couple inches or a few inches of headroom left over as well. So rather practical. Again, if you're on a budget, you're trying to spend less than $30,000 on a vehicle, let's say you're a family of 4, I think you'll be totally fine with this thing. As a family of 4, if you need a little bit of extra space, maybe take a look at the CX-50, maybe take a look at the CX-5, but those again are going to cost you more money. So if you're not trying to spend the money, but you are trying to get a decently nice vehicle, I think this is that sweet spot that I've been talking about. But we talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the CX-30. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Pretty decent acceleration. Handling is very good. Again, guys, as I mentioned towards the beginning of the video, I have had one of these the past week. It is a 2024, and it is a rental car because somebody hit my car. So I was inspired by that car to make a video with one because I was actually impressed by the vehicle, and I knew it was a Select Sport just based off of the technology that it had on the interior, and just basically the feeling and the touch points, because, well, I've done this for a few years now and I know what vehicles are what. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because I really like the Select Sport. I think this is really, again, I'm gonna say it the 5th time throughout the video, the sweet spot. The only thing that I wish it had, and it's kind of a con to me, is not having a power driver's seat. If it had a power driver's seat, I mean, it would literally be the perfect spot when it comes to the price for features and stuff. That's really my only complaint, is it not having, actually no, I have another complaint. So my 2 complaints are the lack of a power driver's seat and the lack of wireless CarPlay. I feel like it's 2025. I don't care if it's a base model, I don't care what. All 2025 model vehicles should have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. That's just my opinion. You guys can let me know your opinions in the comments down below, but those are my 2 complaints: lack of a power driver's seat and lack of wireless CarPlay. Other than that, I mean, it's a great value considering what you get. So you can see right now, I have the smart cruise control system set, and it's basically tracing the vehicle in front of me, not letting me get too close to it. And I'm going to show you guys the stop and the go feature, because right up here we have a roundabout. That was a really nice looking Porsche 911. And while these cars slow, I'm not hitting the brakes. The car is slowing itself down. So anytime that you see the car slow itself down, and I will be in control just in case, but I'm not hitting the brake. It's doing all of this, and it's actually doing a really good job of it as well. I'm going to cancel it just because we're at a roundabout, but it actually came to a nice, seamless and slow stop, rather than it being like clunky, like hitting the brakes hard and stuff like that. So I'm rather impressed by the way that the cruise control system controlled the braking. You know, sometimes you get into a vehicle with like adaptive cruise and the braking is just, it's a little too violent. But here, so far, so good. I'm gonna go into the roundabout now. Oh, look at that 2-door Ford Explorer. I love it. Little acceleration. And again, so after having about a week's experience behind the wheel of this thing, it's not going to blow your socks off power wise, but it really has just enough power for daily driving use. I mean, it doesn't need more power really. I mean, would I love more power? Absolutely. Does it need it? Not necessarily. I'm the type that I want more power than less always. So, you know, I would like more power, but really you don't need it. If this is going to be your daily driver and you're just going to and from work, maybe you got to go through snow or slush occasionally, maybe you know, you're just looking for an all-wheel drive vehicle because you have a jet ski and you got to launch it, or and you're looking for something that also gets great fuel economy, this does all of that, and it does it well. Speaking of the sound system is actually pretty decent considering it's just like a base sound system with no name. It has a really good sound to it, all things considered. You know, I've been in many vehicles with a base sound system and the sound system is just not great. This is one of those base sound systems that is a little bit better than you would expect it to be. It's not as good as like a Bose sound. I was just in a Mazda 3 and it had a 12 speaker Bose in it, and that one was really good. This one obviously is not on that level, but it is still pretty decent. Seat comfort, I think these seats are definitely comfortable. I mean, there's nothing wrong with these seats. They're not too firm. They don't have, like, the bolstering's not like too tight. So I like that feature there. It was, I guess, maybe letting me know that either somebody was in my blind spot or somebody was coming up on me quick. That was a nice feature. And that's what's so nice about Mazdas and Subarus and stuff, is that they kind of all have similar-ish features. You know, like the Subaru's EyeSight, this thing has basically that, but it doesn't have that name. It's got all like the same features that are in EyeSight. And comparing this to a Subaru Crosstrek, yeah, I don't know, man, because the new Crosstrek actually looks pretty good. But one thing that is nice, well, no, I think the new Crosstrek also has LED headlights. So I don't know, I gotta cross-reference that. There's a Crosstrek, speaking of, but that's an older one. Which one would I rather have, this or a Crosstrek? Oh man, I think I'd probably rather have this. I feel like the Interior on this is like nicer. I like the way that the dash is laid out better here on the Mazda. And I feel like this thing handles a little bit better as well. And you know what the big reason is why I like this one? It's got an automatic transmission. It does not have a CVT. So that might be a huge selling point from somebody. Okay, do I want the Crosstrek? Do I want the CX-30? Oh, Crosstrek's got a CVT. Yeah, now I'll take the CX-30 with the 6-speed auto. So that is probably a selling point to certain people, is not having a CVT, where this just has a regular auto. So I think that is good. But overall, man, this is a great value. It's very comfortable. I think it looks great on the exterior as well. I love the colors, by the way. Mazda has really, really beautiful colors. This deep crystal blue mica is gorgeous. They also have like soul red. I mean, all of Mazda's colors are really nice. So that is also something to take into consideration when looking at a vehicle. But very nice vehicle for the money. And if I was going to get this or a Crosstrek, it would be the CX-30. I like the look of it better. And I also like how it's got the 6-speed auto versus the CVT. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also take a second to like and subscribe. Those 3 things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So if you guys enjoy the video, if you learned anything, please take a second to do those 3 things. Also, I post some vlog style videos 1 day a week as of right now. So if that is something, you guys are car enthusiasts, that is something you might be interested in. Also, do some 1-minute reviews on Instagram and TikTok, and I also do some of my own car videos there. So if you guys want to follow me on my other socials, at 703speed on everything. So if you guys like me, like the video, follow me on all platforms, I would appreciate it. But again, that is it for today's video, guys. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.